What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, we're going to be doing a showcase on the Sylvan Watcher Epic Champion in MYCILIAC Priest Orn, who is actually going to be the epic that you will need to fuse the Morrigan fusion. So basically, I already recorded this video and now I'm going to have to scrap that one as Polarium decided to nerf him before he goes into the live server. And basically what he was doing was practically a solo king, taking down that dragon, that ice golem and all of that good stuff with a kit to use poisons and heal himself to take them down. So basically in this showcase I've had to re-gear him so he's able to sustain through places like the ice golem, and we're just going to see how well he's able to perform now, and you can kind of compare this to other content creators' videos before the nerf. I guess that it's pretty good that they did it now before it goes into the live server, as I can imagine a bunch of players who aren't going for Morrigan would have fused this epic, invested epic tomes, which are really hard to get, and then if he was nerfed after that, that would have been 10 times worse, as all of your resources could have went straight into the bin. So let's see if he's still worthy, the kind of skill set I feel like is best for him at the moment of how he's going to be, and yeah, let's get into it. So on the A1 ability with the Spore Stick, attacks one enemy 2 times, each hit has a 15% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Now before the nerf this was a 30% chance, so a lot more consistent, but now it's only a 25% chance once booked. So definitely a bit of a kick in the teeth on that one, but it's only the A1 ability which can attack twice. Now on the Erupting Growths can attack one enemy 2 times, each hit has a 100% chance once booked of instantly activating one 5% poison debuff on the target. Now this skill here hasn't been changed, so in terms of this one, still holds that value. Now on the Colony Expanse, we'll do an AoE ability and has a 50% chance, whereas before the nerf it was a 75% chance, enabling this to be 100%. So that kind of is a big nerf to this A3, for consistency anyway. Of placing those two 5% poison debuffs and a 25% poison sensitivity for 2 turns. We'll then heal this champion by 1% of their max HP for each poison placed by this skill. Now this bit here I think was the biggest nerf, because before this it was a 5% of their max HP. And it's been reduced by 5 times to a 1%, meaning that we need to start relying on regeneration sets, for example, and immortal sets to keep us alive in those solo compositions. Unless you've got endgame great hauls and endgame gear, and you're able to just brute force your way through it and survive, then yes, there's a potential to do it with like toxic sets or stun sets to keep them under control and place more poisons. But in hindsight, I feel like regeneration is definitely the way to go with the nerf to the 1% from the 5%. But still overall, if I'm just looking at it as an epic champion, if he wasn't nerfed or anything like that, I still think it's a really nice A3 ability that everybody can get if you're participating in the fusion. As a 75% chance to place 2 poisons, poison sensitivity and heal, is still pretty decent, right? And then you got the blowing up on the A2 and the poison on the A1. Now with the Mycelium passive, there was no change to this. So whenever a poison debuff is activated on an enemy, increases this champion's HP and defense by 5% and stacks up to 25% and resets each round. So adding to that sustainability, allowing you to up your stats throughout the run and tank some more hits if you're struggling to survive. So alright, how have I geared him for the showcase? Now I'm not going to say that this is the only way you should build him. This is what, when I seen the nerf, this build just screamed to my head. So that's what I'm going to showcase. And if you guys do want to build this champion in the future, depending when you watch this video, you can alter the stats and see what you can get away with and all of that good stuff. But I'm just going to show you the higher scale of it, and then we can base it throughout the runs today, as this will be one of my first times that I see multiple times of the run. And see how it goes, right? I actually had to farm Spider all night to try get some accessories, because on the test server, they never provided us with any. But luckily enough, I got an accuracy banner, which was pretty sweet. So alright, what am I looking for here? Now in terms of Dragon, it's okay to drop the resistance a little bit. But in terms of Ice Golem, I definitely needed a higher version for once we come up against the minions on the boss. Very similar to like a Bad Alcazar strategy, if you're familiar with that. So we've got a blend of resistance, speed, and sustainability on everything, with accuracy where we can, resistance on the chest plate, and speed on the boots. And then we've gone for accuracy, of course, HP, and HP on the ring. So these pieces here, not the best. We've got a bit of defense, we've got no HP percent rolls, and definitely room for improvement on a build like this. Now, with the overall stats here, traditionally with solo builds, I like to aim for 70,000 HP, but I think you could afford to drop down to, I'd say 55,000 to 60,000 on the dragon and still get away with it perfectly fine. Especially that we got the affinity advantage as well, so you will occasionally be getting weak hits. But yeah, 70,000 HP, and remember, my Great Hall is highly developed, it's not maxed, but just take this into consideration when seeing this. So we got Great Hall plus 3,000 and Classic Arena from being in a Gold 5 or Platinum on the test server. We got 2,000 defense for a bit of sustainability. I'd recommend around 2.5k if you can get there. 234 speed, I think you can go down to around 210 and still be fine. Crit rate and crit damage, we're not really caring about in this build. Resistance, enough to resist those debuffs. If you find yourself in a rhythm of it getting through, you could just bump this up a little bit. I think on my Bad Alcazar, I went 330. Accuracy, just enough to place our debuffs. Now, masteries, I guess it's subjective. You could be a little bit flexible in terms of maybe going down to the heals and stuff like that. But I've gone for a blend of resistance, damage mitigation, and counterattacks of retribution. Then we're going down the accuracy tree to try get resets of cooldowns with cycle and magic. We've gone Evil Eye for some termite manipulation on single targets. We've gone Spirit Haste to allow some champions to die, to enable him to go faster and take more turns. This one is actually a change that I made from my previous showcase that I didn't release, and it's Sniper. Now, because his skills aren't 100% anymore, the Sniper Mastery has a chance of placing an extra 5% from skills or artifacts. So being able to have that extra 5% chance to place those debuffs can keep this a lot more consistent for you, bumping up to an 80% instead of that 75% on that A3 ability. Now with the Oppressor, this is going to increase your turn meter fill rate by 2.5% for each active debuff cast by this champion and stacks up to 10%. Now because of the amount of poisons that we're going to be placing with this champion, you're pretty much going to have a 10% stack at all times, especially on the waves and the boss. So alright guys, that was the gear, the masteries and everything that I've learned on this champion since the nerf, and the kind of gear sets I feel like you should be using if you wanted to use a solo build in particular. I still think he'll be really good in specific like poison explosion teams and stuff like that. We might dibble in it towards the end of the video. But let's get into the dragon first. Let's see, can he still solo? Is he still viable? And how fast can we do it? So I've set up a team like this with 4 rare champions just as food. And then we've got him in the lead. So let's get into it. So boom, there's the poisons. Now, all of these targets are going to die, and it's just going to be him soloing the boss. Now, I do feel like with the nerf, you want regeneration to heal, of course. Immortal is really nice to pair with that if you can make it work. And then it's just as much sustainability and resistance, and you should be completely fine in not getting drop defense on yourself and tell me a manipulation from like a Shatterbones, because they're really tedious. So, we're doing pretty well here, 30 seconds so far. So, boom. So, still placing a lot of poisons. 75% chance with the 5% stack from the mastery. Still keeping it up pretty nicely, right? There we go. And boom. Now, before to enable the super fast team, I was using Relentless build or even a regeneration to get more poisons out. And I think you still can get away with it on the dragon if you've got endgame gear. But as you see there, with the Shatterbones, we're resisting that. So we're not dropping our turn meter, allowing us to keep healing from the regeneration. So here we go. Doing pretty well so far. So the passive keeps proccing. We're increasing our HP percent and defense percent from the passive skill. More poisons there. I've never tried a Eurogrim one. I wonder how fast that one is. If you guys can let me know. If you see this run, let me know how it kind of compares to that. So nice. We're doing pretty well here. Now, as you guys see, we're not mitigated whatsoever. So that 70,000 HP that I had was definitely a little bit overkill. But let's see how we can perform against the actual dragon itself. Because once he does his abilities, we do get nuked. So poison's going out, poison sensitivity. So that A1 is, that's kind of the big change that I'm seeing. I was seeing it proc a lot more from the A1 skill. All right, nice. We're still getting poisons up. So definitely a lot slower than it was before when I had it in Relentless, but okay. Get some more poison sensitivity out. Let's do some more A1s. Yeah, I think, see guys, yeah, you definitely don't need this much HP for sure. But we did cap out at 7 million damage, and as you see, he's still a solo king. Now, 2 minutes 30. Now, I still think that this is a really reliable solo champion, granted that you've got the gear and your account is progressed enough to enable you to get those kind of stats. But yeah, really, really solid still for the Dragon's Lair. 2 minutes 33. I wish I could do that back in the day when I was trying to do it for the first time. So, alright, in terms of Ice Golem, now you do have affinity disadvantage, so we can't do stage 25, but we can do stage 24, and I found that against wave 2 in particular, with the reflection of damage, we absolutely get nuked soloing it. So I'm going to bring in the free champion and Scylla the Drakes for control with the stuns, and this will enable us to get through this a lot more efficiently. So let's get into it. So not complete solo farm, but this is something that I would recommend for consistency if you do choose to take this route. Because getting those stuns out on that wave 2, definitely going to help you out a ton. And if your champion decides to drop off, Scylla the Drakes can just pick them back up and even keep your food champions as the target instead of your other champs. Now this Scylla the Drakes isn't built in crazy gear. She's got about 200 speed, some decent sustain and some accuracy. There we go, keeping those stuns up. Alright, nice. We actually get an increased speed from Scylla the Drakes as well, so that's kind of a plus if you're struggling to get your speed out and you don't care about full solo composition. I think if I was to use this champion, unless you really care about doing all food champs with him, I still think putting one extra champion there just to speed up the process could really help you out. So there we go. 1 minute to get through wave 1. Now we just need to get some poisons out. There's the stuns. We didn't get it out on the reflect damage ones. So there we go. That is nasty. Alright, nice. Alright, boom. I don't even think we need Syl for the boss itself, but let's see. We'll get through this. Hopefully she can die, actually. So we can kind of base it off if you bring in like 5 nukers, if that will still work out. Nice. Do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to try this again afterwards, but in my normal composition. With like the Bad El Khazar strategy that I usually use and see how that performs. Alright, nice. So, pretty long run. Like 2 minutes to get through the waves is not insane. Nice, there's poisons. Get those stuns out and boom. We didn't get the poison sensitivity out there. Right, let them die, no problems. Some more stuns out and boom. So this is keeping everything under control, keeping us the Drakes in the mix as well. Nice, keep those stuns out, get those poisons in. Hopefully we don't proc the passive with the War Master of my Scylla the Drakes, because that would be tedious. Alright, boom. We've got enough poisons up there, buddy. We need to start focusing on the boss. Alright, nice. So from here, it should be pretty self-explanatory. As long as you don't proc the passive. Alright, boom. Nice, we bypassed it there. Boom. This should be a nice amount of damage. When he finally takes this turn here, this is going to be a nice little explosion. Nice, let's go. I decrease speed. Now let's try stack those poisons up again. Nice. So for this one, it doesn't even look like we need that much support as well, to be honest. Ooh. Alright, there we go. We still managed to do it, but 3 minutes 30 is pretty decent, I guess. We had 5 million damage on him. So let's try going to a actual run now. So we're going to do this again. Where's my normal team? So this will be my traditional one. And we're going to get recently used. Put him in the lead. Oh wait, is this my... No, this is my dragon team. Where's my ice golem? Let's take this out. Let's put you in and boom. So we're going to go opener with this one. Opener. And then first choice. And then... Okay. Yeah, we just leave it like this. Let's see how this works with a poison explosion team now. Something that I traditionally use. Poison's going out. There's the poisons. Boom, boom, boom. Extend with Dark Hail. And combust. Come through to wave 2. So there's the poisons. Boom, boom, boom. Extend. And combust. Now, come up against wave 3. See, in a team like this is really nice. Because now everybody's going to die apart from... what's his name? I forgot his name now. I'm just so focused on the thing. So, nice. See, look, now because we got the resistance, pretty much he can solo it from here when everybody dies. Alright, boom. This is solid. And there's the sensitivity. Okay. You go. Do you know what, guys? This is actually really, really nice. So in a poison explosion team, wait, what? No way. Well, that was stage 24. I usually do stage 25, but that was my best ever time for stage 24 with Orn. 1.5 million damage. Okay, so guys, in terms of poison explosion teams, this is a really good substitute if you don't have a bad Kazar. Because he could just solo it the second that everybody drops off. He'll just carry it on and he'll be completely fine. Let's see for the consistency here. So there's some poisons. There's 80% chance of the sniper mastery. And nice. Boom. And combust. Now, if you can tune it in a way where everybody dies straight away from this part here. So there's the poisons. Can we get some more out? And boom. So everybody should die. Well, in stage 25 they do here. But they're staying alive, so they're a little bit tankier than they should. But the poison sensitivity to coincide with Dark Chaos straight after he puts his one up. This is actually a game-changer champion for poison explosion teams. So, alright, we managed to get through there, unfortunately. It's alright. Take some hits. This is where regeneration is solid. Alright, boom. So, yeah, if we didn't proc that passive there, we'd have been completely fine. But as you see, we brought back the minions. We're still, like, surviving really well. So, yeah. I'm a big fan of him. For poison explosion teams, that's pretty nice, man. Let me try this again. This will be a bit of a longer video, guys. I just want to do a full showcase because I think that's important. So, stage 25. Yeah, let's try this. Drop defense and weaken. Poison's going out. Boom, boom, boom. And combust on the next turn. 3, 2, 1. Boom. So Yeah, this always happens on my stage 25 anyway. I traditionally go into stage 24 for this particular team, but it's all right. We'll get a proper showcase in. So there's the poisons. Boom, boom, boom. Combust. One stays alive as always. The Mystic Hand from the adverts. So we're getting weak hits from everybody else here. But let's see how he can perform. Poison sensitivity. Loads of poisons. We got Smite. We got Combust. It's all going on. Let's go. This one should be a nice one because we've got Brimstone, Poison Sensitivity, and a bunch of poisons. Yes, everybody died. Just let him finish it. Alright, nice. This should be a nice bunch of damage as well. Nice. Yeah, this is done. The second he takes another turn, this is finished. Not the best time in the world, but I haven't proper speed tuned or anything like that. So 1 minute 39 seconds. And let's go into the finite just for the final showcase. So if we go through here, very same kind of deal. We're not going to be taking down the boss itself, but just in terms of wave clearing. Let's just see the consistency here. Boom. And Combust. See, we might not even need a Dark Hail, but he's really nice for the boss. But if you don't have a Dark Hail, I believe he still has that, the blowing up the poisons on the A2 as well. And then once you come up against the boss, if you've got like an allure in here, you'll start to see yourself in a rhythm of having a pretty nice team. So let's just get out of here. We're not going to take this down. We've got no Terminator control. What am I thinking? Go to the champions. So yeah, that's going to be all for the showcase, guys. Let me know your final thoughts on him, and this is how it's going to be once he comes into the game tomorrow. Will you still be going for him to keep this epic, or are you going for the legendary champion? I'm intrigued to know. I'll catch you all on the next one, and peace.